Hi, everybody. So, tonight I'm really excited to get to talk to you about breaking free from pain and looking at natural strategies for relief and recovery. So, it's a really massive topic. Now, it impacts on most people at some point in their life, whether or not that's something really chronic or if it's something that you've been experiencing like absolutely for a very long time, or even if it's something that you've just suddenly experienced, like a severe fall or a break or something that's really hurt you in a horrible way. And those are those moments where you really need additional support. So, what's the biggest underlying cause of pain? Now, this is a question that I put into the live class that I just had, and a lot of people said that it's inflammation of the body. And so, what we're going to look at today is we're going to look at things that may increase the inflammation in our bodies and also how we can reduce it and support it. Now, we can't look at all of the different things that causes inflammation because we've got lots of other classes that support in that area. So, for example, reducing toxic load in the home with green cleaning and skincare products and all of those other things. So, we're going to just be looking and focusing at how we can put stuff into our bodies that are going to support us. So, what pain do you have showing up in your body? I want you to think about it. So, obviously, if it's there, you're feeling it, right? So, it might be something that you're experiencing in your joints. It might be something that you're experiencing in your body, and that you have had like this raging pain or fire pain within your limbs. And that is obviously something that's really having a massive impact on you. And I would like you to also think about some of the things that may increase inflammation in your body. So, some of the responses that people were sharing, as some people said, well, if I overdo it, if I do some gardening, if I bend over and I'm picking up things like from the floor for too long, or if and some people said sugar, which is actually something that we're going to look at a little bit further in a moment. So, can you think of your average day and what you take into your body? Now, this screen is pretty drastic, right? This is like the ultimate like, food you don't want to be having in your life every single day and all of it at the same time, right? That's not how it is. However, we need to still remember and look at what we're still taking into our body. And one of the biggest things that we sometimes don't necessarily notice is what we're using to sweeten our food. Now, this is a huge topic and it's a really important one. So, what if some of the ingredients were hidden or missold? Now, here you've got your sugar. Now, a lot of people talk about how you need to avoid sugar, don't have sugar in your diet. But actually, the fact of the matter is that sugar is this sugar cane. This is natural. This is actually from nature, and so it's coming from a plant. The replacement of this is this sugar-free kind of buzzword that goes across everywhere and in fizzy pops and cans and things like that. And it is very often replaced by aspartame. Now, this is the chemical components of aspartame, and this is sometimes how it looks. And people will use them, in their teas, coffees, and as a sweetener and in other things. So, what actually is aspartame? So, aspartame, um, I just want to kind of clarify, PubMed is a really amazing place to look for really detailed peer-reviewed journals of different things. And it's, again, a really great way to be able to find out and understand a little bit more about what's going on. So, aspartame is actually a man-made excitotoxin. So, it's a molecule like MSG that acts as an excitatory and it impacts like a neurotransmitter in the body, impacts on those, and it can actually lead to neurotoxicity when it's used in excess. Now, this is really intense. So like MSG, you will have heard of MSG as well. And if you have a look, again, you can do your own research on this. It basically talks about here, I just flagged up some of the cases that were really interesting with regards to pain. So, relief of fibromyalgia symptoms following the discontinuation of dietary excitotoxins. Now, it then goes on to talk about monosodium glutamate, which is MSG, and aspartame. So, that is really powerful, right? Hearing that they were able to clear it out. Aspartame induced fibromyalgia. So it's an unusual but curious cause of chronic pain. So again, removing this neuro or excitotoxin has had a really positive impact. Now, why am I sharing this with you? Because it's important to kind of see the bigger picture when it comes to these sugar-free. Now, sugar-free, you'll see squash, sugar-free drinks for children. Now, this is definitely not something that you want your children to be having from a very young age going all the way through. This is why crazy intense symptoms that people are experiencing from a really young age now, because they've been from very, very young, they've been on these sugar-free drinks, which is aspartame. Now, that is a really important message to get out there and help people to learn and understand. So a few examples of what you could use instead. Now, obviously, you can choose whichever ones are going to support you the most. I really like maple syrup. It literally comes naturally out of the tree. And so, of course, it's completely natural. And it is literally made by boiling down the sap from the tree, and then it actually is a natural sugar. So it's really, really lovely one to use. Not to be confused with golden syrup, though, which is very high refined sugar, and basically it's broken down into glucose and fructose, so it's not to be confused with that one. Then you've got dates. Now, dates are a really, really wonderful way of actually helping to not have a sugar spike. So if, say, for example, you are going to eat something that's sweet, having a date before even that actually helps to stop that sugar spike, which is obviously really amazing. Then you've got honey, but you've also got things like coconut sugar. You've got lots and lots of other things, and people were sharing some of the other things that they use as well. So there's lots of other available methods of having sweet stuff that's not man-made and toxic to our bodies. You are only as good as the liquid you use to hydrate you. So are you able to swap those fizzy drinks that are full of aspartame with water, but maybe you don't like water. Maybe you need flavour in your water because you don't really like just water on its own. So then you can really mix it up and have like lemon, a drop of lemon or a drop of grapefruit, or, you know, some people like things like ginger in their drinks, or whatever it is that's going to make you feel like, actually, I'm really enjoying drinking this water, because it's so important for your body that is experiencing pain to cleanse and detox, get rid of the stuff that's actually creating these, you know, like it said, excitotoxins in the body. You know, you need to clear those out. Peppermint's another really great one to basically, it refreshes your breath as well as hydrating, and it cleanses your palate. So if you're somebody that's like, actually, I really am trying not to have sweet stuff after my meal, having a drop of peppermint in your water, or a drop of Metapower, which is an amazing blend to support with hunger cravings, and it really is really refreshing as well. So brilliant, brilliant ones to be able to use to support yourself and make sure that you're well hydrated. So when you get hurt or are in pain, now, literally about 8 days ago, 8, 9 days ago, it will be now, I went on a Segway tour with two of my boys, my oldest and my youngest, and basically we did 50 minutes of this amazing trek across fields and through the forest, around a lake and everything. And it was like lots of like quite tricky stuff. It was amazing. And then the last 10 minutes, we had to do an assault course. And this was the last little bit to get through before you went to basically the base. And my brain's like, oh no, why do we have to do an assault course? That looks really tight. And it was really tight. And as I came round the bend of one of the tight corners, my tire clipped the cone and it basically flipped me and I went flying and landed on the cone, like literally my pelvis on the cone. So it hit me so hard, I literally could barely breathe and I was in so much pain. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to drive my boys home. We can't be stranded here. And I kind of was like, okay, well, right, what have I got in the car? So I had deep blue, I had lavender, I had frankincense, and I had peppermint. So I put all of those on my lower back, down to the top of my pelvis, and I was able to drive home, and then got home and then I made up my own blend. So my mixture, where do I just put it? So yeah, so basically made up my own blend with all of these different oils on it. Absolutely amazing. Put it on every kind of hour to start off with, and then kept putting it on, and then even had it by my bed. So in my sleep, I was like, when I'd wake up with the pain, I would put it on. Now I am now sitting here at the desk in the chair, 9 days on from that. Now, I know 100% that that would not have been possible without these oils supporting my body to function more better. More better? That's not even English. More effectively. So it is so important to give yourself that support. Now, if you have dealt with chronic pain, it's something that has been going on and on. Making up a rollerball like this, for example, is a brilliant way to be able to incorporate it into your daily routines so that you can curb the pain. So it's almost like when it starts to creep in and it's really high, you get the oils on and you keep layering it until the pain level actually reduces. And that's so, so important. My Pain Away. Now, this one surprises people sometimes because this is 100% one of the biggest things that I use for pain, and not necessarily like the pain like that I experienced on the segways. That is what I kind of thought, well, would I use it for that? But yes, of course I would use it for that, because actually the whole purpose of Meta Power Advantage, which is the collagen, is to support the body to rebuild and regenerate, right? And when you hurt yourself, you need to regenerate and support your body. So what does that actually look like? The different collagen types. There's all of these collagen types in there, and you can see here related to skin beauty, bone production, one of the main components of cartilage. So of course you want to get that healing process and supporting. Also, you've got muscle function, cell membranes, cell cut again, cartilage and growth plates, joints, and it's literally so powerful to support with growth. And when you have pain, you want to support with positive growth. Now, they're 12 times more bioavailable than any other collagen on the market. There's 9 unique types of collagen, and your body activates them because they're bioavailable. You can utilize them within your body. So the foundation of health is 100% nutrition. So if you have the foundation of nutrition perfectly right, you're going to have that balance where you're able to support. Your body can do amazing things when it has the right support. Now, this trio here is the Lifelong Vitality supplements. It is so powerful. I have been helping people with doTERRA for over 10 years now, and this is the one product that has the biggest impact on the most people. It is so, so important. So what have we got? We've got the omegas 3, 6, and 9. Then you've got your vitamins and minerals. Now, these are basically bioavailable to the body. The body will recognize this as food, as opposed to most of the vitamins and minerals on the market are completely synthetic. And so your body doesn't recognize them, can't utilize them effectively, and actually you just wee them out, which is the most expensive wee, which is obviously rubbish. You don't be spending money when it's not having the best impact. Then we've got the Alpha CRS. Now, the Alpha CRS is those superfoods, and I'm going to show you this is basically all of the things that you get in this Alpha CRS. Now, all of these would cost £382.42 if you bought them separately. So, wow, how cool is this product to be able to get them combined? They are so brilliant. doTERRA are just brilliant at bringing everything together so that it can support you in the best way. Now, what sometimes people don't necessarily think of when they have pain in their body is the emotions. Emotions can be stored within the body. Now, whether it's trauma that you've had, most people have experienced some form of trauma when they were growing up, or it might have been not that long ago, it might have been further on in your life. And pain, this is Louise Hay has studied, she has studied the body, she has studied the responses of crushing and suppressing your emotions and how it then shows up in the body. So the emotion that's suppressed here for pain is guilt, and guilt always seeks punishment. And so you need to really focus on dealing with that, letting things go. And so, for example, she says, and again, this is something you could do a whole workshop on, right? Because it's so important and so powerful. And it's not to be looked at lightly, right? This is a kind of a kind of an overview so that if you want to dig into this deeper yourself, you can then go and look at Louise Hay and her book, You Can Heal Your Life. It's a really, really powerful book. And then it has this in the back. And so she says you need to be able to heal that by releasing it and then saying positive things. So I lovingly release the past. They are free and I am free. All is well in my heart now. And it's having those repetitions that helps your body to release these traumas. And it's so, so powerful. And then there's like other things. So for example, joints. You've got joints represents change in direction in life and the ease of these movements, or it could be kidney problems or kidney stones. So criticism, disappointment, failure, shame, reacting like a little kid, lumps of undissolved anger. So looking at the positive side to that, so I dissolve all past problems with ease. So it's about letting it dissolve and go away, right? But there's so many, this is obviously a tiny little snippet, but if you feel like you have chronic pain in your body, maybe that's your body telling you to have a look in depth at what's going on for you and what you maybe haven't processed or what maybe you need to kind of bring up to heal. And sometimes you might need somebody to help you to do that. So it's being gentle with yourself and loving with yourself to be able to do this in the right way. So giving yourself the right support. So with chronic pain or with just pain, make sure that you are picking your sweet. So are you picking things that are natural, that are able to support you as opposed to lighting a fire in your nerve endings in your body? Are you able to hydrate right? Are you drinking enough water? Are you able to put those essential oils in that water and then create an even more powerful detoxification option, right? It's so special that we have these oils that we can put in. And of course, that's doTERRA only, right, that we're talking about. So supporting your pain. Are you supporting your pain? Are you using the oils regularly within your daily routines so that you are getting the most support that you can utilizing the oils? And then are you supplementing right? Have you tried the Lifelong Vitality? If you are using the Lifelong Vitality, give it 3 months minimum. The full whack. You need to give your body time to really, really have an impact. If it's something that's been chronic for 5, 10 years, 3 months compared to how long it's been going on in your body is not a very long time, right? And it's 100% worth that investment in yourself to see how your body reacts and then look at the changes that it's having. It's so, so powerful. And with that, you know, your body can do amazing things with the right support. So enjoy your support for your body. And I'm really pleased that I was able to share this with you and to share my experience with, pain and how you can support with your pain. And I just hope that you're able to, really go for it. Give yourself the right support so that you can see changes. And in the 10 years that I have been teaching people about these oils, pain is one of those top ones that is life-changing, because when you're in pain, you only see that. When you're not in pain, you're free. You're free to do and be and have a life that you really, really deserve. So I hope to speak to you soon. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.